Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, human beings of all ages, welcome to Vibrations with Vito. I am your host, Vito. Episode 34. We like the number 34 on this show. Shout out to Roy Halladay, rest in peace. Go Phillies. I feel great today. Recording on an unusual day, but the pod doesn't stop. If you want to know how much I love this podcast, Inter is playing right now in the Champions League, and I'm doing the pod. Did they qualify already for the Champions League? Yes, they did, but I still love watching every game. Forza Inter. We're losing, but who cares? Like I said, I feel great today. The message of the week is good luck, everyone. You're all gonna die. I'm just kidding. The message is really enjoy yourself, because life is short. Stop doing things you don't want to do. Do things you want to do, no matter like what. Who cares what people say? Obviously, I'm talking like legally. You know what I mean? Don't do anything crazy, but do what you want to do, because this life is short. Enjoy yourself. It's simple as that. I am joined this week by a special guest. I've known this man for a very long time. I have not seen this man for a very long time. I would consider him a good friend of mine. The one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Pat McCarthy.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Feeling good.
When is the last time you saw me?
So I was trying to do the math. So Phyllis and I went to high school. Our freshman year was 02. So graduated 06. And I've seen her over the years, but I don't know if I've seen you in passing since then, after graduation, or I don't know, because when we were 21, you were still a young buck.
Yeah, fact, I was 11.
When Phyllis and I would be hanging out at the bars or doing things, you'd be still a young buck, so you wouldn't be able to be there.
Yeah, crazy. I think the last time that I remember seeing you was my freshman year. You were a coach.
Okay.
For Common League in soccer.
Yes.
Yeah. Was that your only year you were the coach?
So I was coached there for 2011 to, I believe, 2013, 2014. And in that time, we reached the state finals. I believe it was either the quarter state finals, probably the farthest that
they've ever been.
Yeah, probably ever been.
They had a great team that year.
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. I remember I was so nervous because I was a freshman. It was like the tryouts, and I'm 14, and these dudes are like I was relatively short. Right. These dudes were huge, I felt like, compared to me. I felt like I was nice, but I was just like, yo, this is intimidating, because I was like, these dudes are 17, 18.
Right.
And then I'm looking, and I'm like, is that Pat?
Yeah.
I knew you right off the bat, and you were like, what's up, V? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And that I felt like that I put extra pressure on me, because I was like, damn, I know the coach. Blah, blah,
right.
blah. But no, yeah, to my recollection, that's the last time that I saw you.
Right. So, including coaching there, I was a teacher there as well.
Right.
I taught algebra, honors algebra 1, honors algebra 2. I taught there for a year and coached there for 3 years. So it's kind of like all gets mixed up in the bunch, because it's been such a while since I've seen a lot of the former students I have, the kids I coached. But yeah, that was a lot of successful years to be at the alma mater.
Yeah, we share that in common. We both went to the Tower of Strength over here.
Yes.
Where did you go to grade school? Did you go to
St. Ephraim's?
Oh, you're the enemy.
Yeah,
Oh, the enemy. I'm gonna try to open this bottle. 1, 2, 3. I hate the corkscrews, but it felt right, because red wine. We got red on. Go Phillies.
Yes.
Should be game 3 today, but no. I meant game 4.
No, that's 3, right?
It's game 3 now.
Yeah,
because it got canceled last night.
Right.
Did you think that was justified, that the game got canceled?
I hate canceling for the rain, especially when it's light rain. It started to get,
cleared up.
Yeah, it started to get clearer. I just don't. I understand that baseball is a little more difficult to play in the rain, but can they get through it? I think so.
How do you feel about the indoor stadiums? Do you think everyone should resort to that?
I think that Citizens Bank is like newly built, and it's not that old. So
I love it. One try. Folks, we're feeling great today.
Yes, sir.
Let's get this pour out of the way, and then we'll start flowing.
This is one of my favorite parts of the show.
Jeez. You heard the man. It's my favorite part too. Welcome to the program. Put the volume up. There you go, sir.
Salud.
Salud. Boom.
Now we do a cheers? Or?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the program.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate being here.
Yeah. Little Pinot Noir. Are you a wine guy? Do you like wine?
I prefer my beer.
What kind of beer?
Anything, basically, but preferably, I guess, like the IPAs. We're in pumpkin season, so
Oh, you're one of those.
specify the pumpkin. I appreciate, I appreciate the breweries that start up a small business and kind of create their own beers. So I kind of like finding the beers that aren't that much known about.
You're a big supporter.
Yes.
I think you just support people that are grinding.
I'm a big underdog.
Okay.
Love the
All right.
underdogs.
Yeah, you gave me a special shout out on Twitter. I think it might have been International Podcast Day. I don't remember what.
I think it was just. I was just appreciating the podcast.
That's amazing. I appreciate that. When you listen to podcasts, do you like watching them, or do you just like to listen to it while you're on?
It depends what I'm doing. So, as you know, I have a very busy life.
Right. We're going to get to that. We'll get into that.
But, so, like, doing the chores or just having some downtime, I just like to pass the time with some podcast. I think I got really into podcasts during the pandemic, when you're stuck inside the house.
Right.
There wasn't much to do. And just doing chores around the house, keep it moving. It's still a way to connect with people, even though you're not in person. You don't have that human interaction.
Right? Are you a Joe Rogan guy?
I used to love Joe Rogan, especially during the pandemic. He was huge. I got a lot more publicity, but I'm a big UFC guy too. So
we share that in common. Do you have a favorite fighter?
Yeah, Conor McGregor.
Oh, gotta represent.
Yeah. But now it's Sean Brady, Philadelphia representing.
Okay,
so Northeast Philly guy.
Did he lose his last fight?
He did. He lost to Bilal Muhammad. So
okay,
that was a big fight. So
my favorite fighter all time, Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
And he just took a.
Big.
You saw that? Yeah. I think every I think every fight that Jake Paul does is fake.
I agree, and like my thing is like, why can't he just fight somebody legitimate that's not?
He doesn't want to fight a boxer,
right? Or anybody that's not even
45.
Yeah, or retired. Exactly.
No, he's the worst.
Yeah.
There's no way in real life Anderson Silva loses to a YouTuber. I'm not gonna call him a boxer yet. He wants to be called a boxer. He's not fighting anyone.
Right.
Anderson's a boxer now, but there was plenty of time. Did you watch the fight?
I did not.
He was cornering Jake, like literally cornering him, doing what he does, hands down,
right.
and then just not punching him.
Right.
Not punching him.
The same thing with when McGregor fought Mayweather, that they, like he would like look to take different mixed martial arts opportunities,
right.
but he can't do that. You know what I mean?
So hitting him back fist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
did you think that was rigged?
I think that it brought in a ton of money.
I think that was the goal.
Yeah, I think that Conor McGregor has too much pride to, just take an L just for some money. I mean, he has enough money as it is. But right. I was very excited for that fight. But yeah, he got outclassed. So.
He did. I was one of those people that generally believed that he could win. Actually, not could. I thought he was going to win. I'm going to stand on that. So, funny story about that. I was in Italy when that happened. And I made a $100 bet with one of my best friends, shout out to Gedge, and I put it on McGregor. And how I watched that fight is I had to FaceTime my brother-in-law.
Okay.
We were standing in the middle of the street trying to get service, and then we FaceTime him, and he just turned his camera around. So, and when we got that to happen, it was the 5th round, and my brother-in-law was like, Conor won the first 4.
Yeah, he was looking pretty solid.
And then the gas tank was empty.
Right.
Gas tank was empty.
And that's his MO, is like the first 2 rounds in MMA is usually solid, dominating, and then they wait to get that cardio out, and he's
a big example of he got the money and then stopped caring.
Right.
I think his UFC career after that, he really didn't.
He wasn't as
care too
dedicated.
Much. No,
yeah, not as dedicated.
He wasn't hungry. Yeah.
Right.
Because I do think he is one of the best fighters that's ever fought.
Right.
But that money, there's no motivation anymore. You got $100 million from fighting.
Right.
I
mean, he's got a little bit in everything. Proper 12. He's got money all over the place. Got his own yacht. He's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He's starting to lose his likability a little bit with some of the stuff he's done. But
I think so.
When he was a prime fighter, like representing Ireland like that,
there was no better time, honestly, in the UFC.
Bringing the fans in. And
Ronaldo was hot at that time. Right. The UFC was jumping.
Yes.
Do you think he fights again?
I think he does. I think he does. I think he's still young enough where he still has a few fights in him, depending on like what the results are. You know, whether or not his contract gets renewed or whatever.
Right.
That negotiations have to happen. But I think he fights a few scrubs just to
little
get
tune-up,
right.
little Donald Cerrone's kind of.
Yeah.
That fight made me think. I was like, yo, he didn't
He's
go
back.
anywhere. He's back. He whooped him. But yeah, shout out to Conor McGregor. You know, maybe one day he comes on the pod.
Yeah.
So let's get into what do you do? What do you do for a living, Mr. McCarthy?
I am a teacher. I am a 6th grade math and science teacher. Yeah.
Okay. Was that your specialty in school, math and science?
Elementary education, but actually throughout.
Yeah, like what did you excel at in school?
So like when I first went into college, I either wanted to be an English major and write, or I wanted to be a teacher. In my early part of my career, I did start with English, and then I got into math. But I always actually getting thrown into Egan. My focus was K through 6, so I thought I was going to be an elementary education teacher, and then I kind of had to learn the ropes with algebra, honors algebra 1. There's some difficult stuff that, you know, I didn't prepare myself for throughout college, so I had to learn and teach myself, and in that process, I became a fan of math. You know, I really appreciated teaching it because I knew that I struggled when I was younger, so my ability to influence others through that struggle was my inspiration.
That's a great answer.
Yeah,
that's a great answer. I hated math when everything, like, listen, I was one of the best when it was like, hey, 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 times 6 is 18. When they solve for X, like, that's when I started getting so confused.
Right.
And I did have a tutor in math. Shout out to Erin. I don't know what she's up to nowadays, but she helped me a lot. But I hated math, literally hated math. And then we got to high school, and then there were, like, trigonometry was one of the worst things I've ever gotten introduced into my life. But math is, like, so crucial. Simple math. And that's kind of like what you're teaching now. So
yeah,
you do have an important job.
I mean, the 6th grade, they start trying to prepare them a little bit for the algebra 1 and high school math. It's a little bit, but it's a midway point.
I hear you. So when did you know you wanted to be a teacher? Did you know?
Throughout college, like I said, I went in originally as an English major, and I was going to major in English, but then I did take over elementary education. But my theory was I could either write books and influence people by writing books, and then through like the publishing process, it would take a long time, and it would take a while to get my word out there, or I can influence people on the daily, young students, classes at a time, and that's where I felt I could make my stronger impact.
Okay, so that's something we share in common as well. I was a good writer. My first year of college, my only year of college, I wanted to do journalism.
Okay.
Because I honestly was I was a very good writer, I would say, and I was like, yeah, I could do this. And then the more I started to think about like what I could actually do with the degree, I was like, this probably isn't worth going through all that. So
it's funny, in the soccer, the football culture, they hate journalists too. So that'd be funny if like both of us got into that little bit.
Right, and we're writing stories.
we're the enemy, but
So that's another thing. Shit. Well, wait a minute. Let's get right into the Phillies real quick. So we both got the jerseys on.
Yes,
what do you know? What year that jersey's from? Like, what team was that?
Darren Dalton. He was, I would say in the 90s sometime. People used to say my stepdad looked like him a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was a fan of him, and he was always a good dude. Passed away. Rest in peace. But,
rest in peace.
I know that he was a good role model. He was a good person. Had a lot of good fundraising and things like that. And I was younger when I watched him, but I always appreciated it. And I played catch up when I was younger. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay. Did you play baseball in high school as well?
I played baseball K through 8, and then in high school I played soccer and basketball my freshman year. And I was going to play lacrosse, but I never picked up a stick before, so I didn't play. Plus, all throughout the year would have been too much.
Yeah.
And actually kind of crazy, but my baseball career, I was pretty good in baseball when I was younger. and my eyesight got bad. So every time I would step up to the plate, as I got older in middle school, I started striking out all the time, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. My mom took me to the eye doctors, and they told me that my eyesight was terrible, and I was just playing baseball without glasses the whole time,
Right.
and striking out, and my confidence really dropped. And I tried the rest specs, I tried the regular glasses. It just was messing up my swag.
I hear you. I played baseball 2 years. I don't count the second year because I was totally like dejected from it. Like I did not want to play.
It's a frustrating sport. Man.
It is.
If you start striking out and things like that, you can get down yourself.
Like I played soccer my whole life. High energy, high pace.
Right.
I'm, all over the place. And then baseball is just waiting and waiting. So if I didn't pitch, I didn't like the game, but I had that same problem. I have glasses. I think everyone who listens to the show knows that. But I had glasses prescribed to me at 6.
Okay.
So I played baseball when I was 12.
All right.
I didn't wear glasses when I got up to the plate.
Right.
So I was literally just hoping, but I was so short that my strike zone was like minuscule.
Right.
So unless that pitcher was really good, I got walked. Yeah, I did. So I would consider myself a utility player because I got walked.
And you be stealing bases.
Oh my God, I stole second and third every time.
Every time. And you had to appreciate be grateful to getting on base.
Oh, right.
Take advantage.
Yeah, and there was you weren't throwing me out. I was so fast. So, like, I stole second, third, and then it's just like, all right, well, who's bringing me in? Yeah, because I can't steal home. That's a little risky.
My big thing is once my confidence started going, I just started bunting all the time. Just trying to get on base.
I was scared to bunt.
I got my hands ready.
Yeah, I was like, my fingers going to get broken. But so that was also the thing. I was kind of scared to hit because I don't know. Like, I felt like I would, now that I think back on it, I think I would close my eyes and then just swing. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like baseball too much. I thought I was a decent pitcher. I wasn't like a great one, and I didn't pitch too often. But I liked pitching because I felt like I am in control of this game, and I'm actually doing something. I'm not just sitting in the outfield and waiting. So I did like pitching, but I liked getting walked and stealing second and third.
There was some impact or something.
I remember one game, though, I smacked the ball. Foul. Like I felt so good, and then I was like, "Wow, this is gonna go foul."
Right.
And then I don't remember really doing too much.
Right.
So yeah, I played baseball 1 year. You played soccer majority of your life?
Yeah, still do.
Oh, you play now?
Yeah, men's league. Shout out the Loose Cannons.
Okay. Ooh, that's a nice name.
Yeah.
Loose Cannon. What position did you play, and what position do you play now?
In college, I played center back. And then now I played center midfield. Kind of similar to what we were talking about, like being in the action. I like dictating the game when being as a center back in college, but I knew that the impact, you're touching the ball more playing midfield. So I always like that. I always like to be in the middle of action, like putting the head balls, things like that, distribution.
Yeah.
Beautiful game. Man.
What college did you go to?
King's College.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're jumping. I'm jumping around over here. So Phillies. Let's go back to the Phillies. What is your unbiased opinion about tonight?
I think it's a good one. I think that the rain actually benefited us being, getting that starting rotation. I have a lot of faith in Ranger Suarez. I think, he's got ice in his veins coming in the other day, shutting the game down like that. I'm a big psyche guy, so I like watching the interviews at the end of the games and kind of seeing how they respond to different things, and he just always seems like a chill dude. So.
Yeah, he does. And like you said, coming into that game at that time, what they asked him to do, and he did it.
Right.
And the emotion he showed at the end, I think he's full of confidence. Right. So I like that. Does that mean Syndergaard is now going to go back to the bullpen, or do you think he starts
I read something the other day that it could be Gibson or Syndergaard, and I can't stand Gibson, so I hope anybody but him. So
okay.
If we can get Syndergaard in there to pitch some shutout innings, then I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I'm not trying to look too far ahead, not trying to ruin the vibes, but what's the celebration plans if we do this?
Well, first off, we're going to Broad Street.
Okay,
I'm calling out of work. Because there's priorities.
Right.
Going to Broad Street is definitely. I do see us winning. I'm not trying, like you said, I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves.
But you have to make the plans.
Yeah. I'm going to Broad Street. I'm going to act a fool, just like how I did when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Shout out to Phyllis. She took me to Broad Street, and we were getting after it.
Absolutely. There's no better feeling in the world.
So I've never experienced that before, because the Eagles never won the Super Bowl until then. And not gonna lie, when the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, first off, I was too young. I was relatively too young, and I was kind of being a douche. So do you know that I like the Tampa Bay Lightning?
Yes, I do. I was chirping on Twitter a little bit.
I forgot about that. So I love the Tampa Bay Lightning. So when the Phillies played the Rays, I wanted to be a douche. So I was like, I'm rooting for Tampa Bay.
Right.
So like I stuck by that year, and only that year, because ever since then, like I have a brain that works. Fuck the Rays.
Right.
Go Phillies.
Right.
So, but that year, I didn't go to the parade or anything, and I wasn't even really excited because I was like, oh, I want the Rays to win.
Yeah.
But no, so yeah, like you said, I was a young buck. But now we're grown, we're mature.
Right.
So go Phillies. But that energy when the Eagles won was unbelievable.
Right.
I feel like all crime stopped. Everyone was just so
they
happy.
They said that too for like when the Phillies got to the World Series, and being a resident of Philadelphia and seeing the crime is terrible, but they said that 4 days in a row, like there were homicide lists, like just the vibrations by Vito, the positive vibrations they were up, and that's a true story. Like, that's one of the best parts about the celebrations is that like people remember that for the rest of their lives.
For sure.
And so there's another big controversy too. So you said you would go to Broad Street, and I'm right down the street from Frankfurt and Cottman, like 5 minutes away. So have you ever been there for any celebrations or no?
Cottman?
Frankfurt and Cottman.
I don't think so.
No, it's a huge Northeast Philly like the meeting spot after the wins, after the victory. So you might have to reconsider. It's halfway.
Any kind of victories or?
Nah, like,
big
World
ones.
Series,
big
Super
ones.
Bowls.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now I'm going to consider it because now I got an excuse to. But, yeah.
You got to link up with Frankfurt and Cottman at the Phillies win the World Series.
I'll do that. I do think they will win. I do think they will.
I sure hope so.
I can't stand the Astros. I didn't have a problem with them whatsoever until 2017. Is that when they won the World Series?
That's when they're cheating, right?
Yeah, cheating. Yeah. Like, that's when I don't even want to say they won the World Series. They were cheating.
Still cheating.
So I was going to get in that. Did you think he was cheating, the pitcher?
I thought the pitcher was cheating, and then they confirmed that the dude had the oversized barrel on the bat, too. And
they said that so casually. Like, no one was going to be like, huh?
Yeah, right.
He had a, what was the word they used? I forget what.
Albert Pujols' bat of some sort.
But it got grandfathered in.
Yeah. So, like, Albert Pujols is old, so he could use the bat. I don't get it.
But then he gave it to this dude, and this dude can do it. Right. But he stinks,
And then he started killing it for that first game.
Yeah,
he was they were like, this dude barely ever hits, and all of a sudden he's getting RBI against the Phillies.
Did you see that average? It was like .094. I don't know. I thought that was clear as day. First off, the biggest red flag was that he had a brown glove, and then he had a black glove.
Right.
What pitcher changes gloves?
True, and my thing was that, like, everybody's saying, like, let the umps do it, but every single time that they showed him getting checked, it was always his right hand.
His left hand.
I think he's a
lefty.
He's a lefty, whatever opposite his glove hand was.
Yeah.
They weren't checking that. They were checking his throwing hand.
Yeah,
so.
Bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And after every time, he was rubbing his hands all over his hands. Like, it was, Twitter was a crazy place that night.
Yeah.
Because everyone.
Phillies, dude. Shout out to the Philly inspectors on Twitter, man. Those people don't let anything slide.
Not at all. So I said that. I was a little intoxicated, but I'm sitting there to my homie. He's a big baseball guy. He played baseball. And I'm sitting there, and I go, did he change gloves? And it was just silence for a little bit. And he goes, he did change gloves. And then we're screaming at the TV.
Yeah, right.
He's cheating. We're just all screaming. And
it takes away, like, some love of the game here.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
And we couldn't hit that dude, so something was going on.
That's what I meant. Like, that's what I was like kind of getting at.
Not to be biased.
I think that's why we couldn't hit him.
Yeah.
He was doing something spooky. He really was. So what does that? For someone who doesn't know, probably most of the audience doesn't know, and I don't really know. If he's cheating and using some kind of tar, I would assume it's a tar. What is that?
Spider tap or whatever.
So what does that do for the pitcher?
So the they say that it gives him like a tighter grip on the ball, so like it helps with the rotation with different like breaking balls, curveball, things like that. So like it provides more spin and just provides a different, an advantage as far as pitching. And I'm not sure like pacing, like if it helps the pace or not, but I know that it affects his grip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you have a better grip on the ball, it's gonna change the way it's in flow.
And he had 8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
So like, and
we haven't been striking out that much.
That's what I mean. I think it's clear as day he was cheating.
Yeah.
And I hope they're really cracking down on everyone tonight, on our side and their side.
I think they're going to be rattled tonight as the viewers watch this. I think Houston's going to be rattled as they come into the bench.
I think so too. I think they haven't experienced anything like Philly World Series baseball.
Right.
Like I think the last round against the Padres, they were rattled.
Philadelphia's been starving, like with the Union.
For everything.
Starving. They're about to be in the championship. They were getting loud, and everybody was chanting. Shout out to my cousin Neil. He's in the Keystone Ultras. They're like a supporters group for the Union.
Word. I thought didn't it used to be called the Sons of Frank or something?
Sons of Ben.
Sons of Ben.
Yeah, they're like the separate. They were like the original, different. But like they like branched off. But just watching the Union, like, and those fans going wild was a cool view. And
like you said, starving.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I mean, the 2017 Super Bowl was amazing, but
filled some hunger, but we're still
absolutely.
hungry.
Yeah, still hungry. It's been 5 years now. So.
Yeah. I think the Phillies do win, though. Like I said, are you a sports bettor?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so
degenerate.
Do you?
If my wife sees this, I'm just only betting once every year.
Once every year. It's this year. So
with all the Philadelphia sports, I've been very inspired.
Word. So I just got into it. And
terrible voice.
So yeah. So
don't follow my bets is the first advice.
Why not? Why not?
I'm struggling.
So peer pressure, conformity, right? I usually don't comply. My homie, shout out to Jared. He was like, "You need to just download the app." Actually, it was Ben who got me. Excuse me. Shout out to Ben. Ben got me into it, but now when I do all my bets, I do it with Jared. Side by side, we'll do the same bets.
I like that. Yeah, somebody telling you.
Right. So he's very smart on baseball, and then like he'll ask me like some soccer stuff. Boom.
Right.
And then we meet in the middle for football. I'll be like, Nick Chubb scoring the first touchdown tonight, and then boom, it happens. So last night specifically, I was sure I was gonna be a rich man. So we did a bunch of parlays that all involved the Phillies and Joel Embiid. So they all got voided out.
Right.
But the one that I was certain about, we cooked this up. It was Nick Chubb first touchdown score, which happened. Bryce Harper first home run, and Joel Embiid first basket. If that hit, it was like I think it was like $5K off a $10 bet.
And the hopes were high.
Yeah, and then boom, he tells me he was like Embiid's not playing, and then I was like shit. And then the Phillies game got canceled, and then Chubb ended up scoring the first touchdown.
It's not money lost. Oh.
No, it isn't. So I did cash out. They gave me like $88 or something. But yeah, it was good.
That's a little less than the $5,000 you would have got.
Right. That was my first bet I ever hit, though.
Okay, really?
So like I've been the first two I did. I predict the scores of the game. I did Italy was playing Hungary, and I predicted 2-1 because I'm like we always let up a goal and finish 2-0. And then I did the Cowboys-Giants game. I did 24-13. It was 26-13. And I was like, this is stupid. I got to delete the app. And I didn't. And now we're here now. And I have a crazy parlay for tonight. I have one just all for the Phillies that I actually think could happen. It's like for $100-some. But then I
you got to send that to me.
I will. And then I did a crazy first basket one for basketball. It was 3 people for like $8K.
Right.
And I was like, let's see. So I'll send both of them to you. Hopefully we get it. But do you bet on most of the games that you watch?
I think my forte is soccer and UFC. Soccer. I love betting soccer. I was on a, so that's like my Twitter like joke parody is that like I act like I'm a handicapper. It says it in my bio, but not even close. And
do you want to plug your Twitter?
Oh, Patty McSwag.
Boom. We're gonna have that right here, folks.
Appreciate it. Yeah. But like that's my like I just put out tweets of different bets and things like that. And I was on a run for a while, but I've definitely been struggling.
Yeah, man. Everyone's struggling. Life is crazy out here. Gas is like $300 a gallon. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I had someone who would just message me. This is before I had the app. That they'd be like, "What are the UFC bets tonight?" And because I know a lot about the game, so like I would say something, and I wouldn't say. I'm not gonna say all the time, but a lot of the time I would be right. I'd be like, "Yo, second round knockout, boom," and then the dude hits and he break me off a little piece.
Right.
But now I can get the whole piece.
Yeah.
So I'm in there. Phyllis, shout out to Phyllis. She told me, "You gotta delete the app, stop betting." And I'm like, "Listen, if I can turn 10 into 10,000, I'm in there."
That's how they get you, though. The first 500, and then after that, you're addicted. And
I'm not at the first 500 though, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
The tough times were during the pandemic that like there wasn't any sports on. People like Russian ping pong or something. People were like fiending for some betting, but I wasn't that bad. But I was definitely waiting for sports to come back.
Oh man, well, go Phillies, folks! I got my jersey on.
Let's go. Phillies.
Question: do you buy jerseys from the site themselves? Like, if you want a Phillies jersey, you go on like Fanatic or something.
Good question. So this is from Mitchell and Ness. I got this one and a Dykstra jersey, both from Mitchell and Ness, for Christmas, I believe. So, but different sports, different websites. You know, classic football is a
you
great
gotta
soccer.
Stop doing that.
What do you mean?
You gotta stop. You save your money.
Save money and don't buy jerseys?
No. Buy the jerseys, but I'm gonna plug them. I've been trying to keep this to myself, but I want to put you on, and might as well put everyone else on. DHgate.
I heard of it before.
Okay, but do it.
I got confused in that site. You got like different multicolored jerseys. And
you can do
like
anything.
So
you can buy Gucci shoes on there, which I wouldn't do because that's definitely off. That's definitely off brand. But this jersey I got from DHgate.
That's fresh.
Every Inter jersey I have, DHgate. All my Eagles jerseys, DHgate.
Right.
And no one has ever came up to me and be like, "Did you get this from DHgate?"
I mean, who's gonna say that? I like to, like I said, support the low key brand. So like, if they have like a shirt that's popular, getting a few shirts from Philly Goat lately. They're like low key, you know what I mean? Or like somebody starting up an Etsy and they're trying to get their, you know, they're being creative with that. My sister has her own Etsy account. Like, if something's popping off,
all right. What does she sell? Should I buy some stuff off your sister?
Yeah, just clothes. I just ask her to patch something. She,
nice.
She is so she's like independent. So she tries to do like wholesale. So if a few people want something, she's more likely to make that then. But since I'm her brother, I'm always putting in requests. She'll do a one-on-one sort of job.
What's her name?
Jess.
Shout out to Jess. Jess, we might be working in the future. Yeah. I got some things I might want you to do.
Absolutely.
Is she around my age or is she?
So I have Jess and Lex. So Lex was I'm not even sure what year she graduated, but she
I feel like one of your sisters is close to my age.
Yes, she was saying that.
So.
I think she's 2 years younger. I was talking to her about it, and then my middle sister Jess went to Nazareth. And I can't remember the exact year. I want to say, well, my sister Lex graduated 2000. What are you?
16.
16. So she older, or younger, so 17 or 18. And then I'm not sure my.
So if someone just came up to you and was like, "Yo, how old is your sister?" You don't know?
I have to screw up there. Hopefully they don't watch this.
I hope they do. I hope they do. Tune in, subscribe. If you're listening to this and watching this and you're not subscribed to the YouTube or you follow me on all social media accounts, you're doing something wrong.
My sisters will probably watch this, but no,
shout out to Lex.
Ages, I'm terrible.
Okay, well, this guy's old over here. He's thinking about a million things. Yeah, no, I hear you. I feel.
How old's Phyllis?
She is 33. 33. She'll be 30.
I'm 34. I think she's going to be 34.
So she's 34. She'll be. Oh yeah. I've been bugging her about. I've been bugging her about that she's going to be 40 soon. Love you, Fag. So she's definitely 34. She'll be 35 soon.
See, so sometimes the sisters' ages after a certain age start to forget. You love them just the same, but
no, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Shout out though. Yeah. So you're the only boy, right?
I actually have a huge mixed family. I got 3 stepsisters, 2 stepbrothers, and then 2 half sisters. But I consider them full because we grew up and lived together in Ben Salem.
Fair enough.
My one sister attended Egan, so I was, happy to have her be a part of the alumni. And then my other sister went to Nazareth. she was much more intelligent probably than both of us. So she earned it.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, I thought that you were one of 3 and 2 sisters, but
nah, I'm all over
big
the
family.
place. Yeah, 3
Big
stepsisters, 2 stepbrothers. Yeah.
Man, this shit's wild. What were we just talking about? My mind went a million different places.
So with sports, UFC, Phillies, my family.
Sports betting right before that.
Yeah.
So I will send you those plugs.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And if you got any for tonight, let's mix. Let's mix and match.
All right, and then the Champions League is going on too, so I'm always snapping at the bet for some Champions League action.
Who is your bias aside again? Bias aside, who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
World Cup, it's a great question. I think I am a strong believer in Belgium. I think Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best center midfielders in the world.
That's accurate.
But France has the complete roster. Brazil. But I think my underdog bet, I don't know where they're rated, but I don't know. I just think Belgium could win, and but my favorite bet would probably be France. France is just a well-equipped team. I think Mbappe is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah. His mind is starting to get too much, though. I think they gave him too much at PSG, and now he's starting to act like a prima donna.
But then you replace him with Benzema. You know
right.
What I mean?
That's
They got a full squad.
And if you ask me,
and then Griezmann.
Right. Yeah. Right. Currently, though, if you had to ask me Mbappe or Benzema, I'm going Benzema.
Yeah.
Just because I think he's more focused. He's more cynical. Cynical is the word I want to use.
Not clinical, yeah.
Yeah. He just won what's the award called?
Ballon d'Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been a Liverpool killer, so I had to respect him.
Yeah. So that's who you support, Liverpool?
Liverpool is the best.
Okay, so when you first started watching soccer, was Liverpool number 1 always?
So, growing up, I was always real big into American sports, and when I was growing up, soccer wasn't really on TV that much, you know what I mean? You had to, have, what was it, FS2 or one of, some, private, program. So I played soccer in college. My career has been kind of crazy. So like I said, I played soccer, basketball. I played every sport besides hockey on the team. And I got to college, and my IQ of the game wasn't where it should have been. I was just a good athlete, able to play Division III soccer, But my coach always said, you have to watch it. I'm like, I don't know how to watch it, or wasn't a very big fan.
What channel?
Yeah, right, exactly. You're I don't have that program. But then I found a player that I compared to myself, and Daniel Agger played for Liverpool back in the day, and he was a tall, skinny center back, and just tatted up, and kind of crazy, and I appreciated him. And Steven Gerrard was on the squad.
Right,
so
baller.
The legends were out, and I've been a Liverpool fan ever since.
Boom. Was anyone else in your family a Liverpool fan? Or?
Nah,
okay,
just on my own.
Word.
Yeah,
okay.
And they weren't really that good back in the day, you know what I mean? So they didn't win a Premier League title till recently, so
right.
They won Champions League and things like that, but
which is a huge feat, folks.
Absolutely.
Champions League is Europe's top teams. It excludes everyone else, but in Europe. And for the people who don't really know, who usually wins the World Cup is a European team. And if it's not a European team, it's the 2 of the South American teams, Brazil or Argentina. But everyone else is from Europe. So the Champions League is club teams. So that could be a club team from Italy or Spain or England or Portugal.
Right.
Yeah, all that. So the Champions League is a huge deal. There's a whole bunch of money involved. And that they were actually playing for the Champions League today. Do you know the final score in the Liverpool game?
No, I think it was still 0-0 at 84th.
So your team qualified already before today.
I believe so, yeah.
And so did mine. Then you believe so. It's a fact.
It is a fact?
Yeah.
I'll take your word.
Napoli finished first, and you guys finished second. And then for us, we played Bayern Munich today.
Right.
Bayern Munich finished first. We finished second.
Okay.
And we were in the group of death. So the group of death is always, every year, there's always 3 amazing teams that are in one group.
Right.
So only 2 can go through, and the other one goes to the Europa League, which is the minor league, but there's still a bunch of money involved there. A lot of people downplay the Europa League, but I think
Yeah,
I think it's a great tournament.
If you're
as well.
a supporter of one of them clubs, it's it's a
like,
good
let's
tournament.
go.
Yeah, right.
So Barcelona went all in this year,
right, and lost.
and they lost. So like financially, they're in trouble,
Right.
Because they they sold a bunch of their TV rights. And their sponsorship deals or something like that, just to put money into the team this year to go far in the Champions League.
They're paying their players, but I mean they had players on contract, but they weren't paying them.
Correct.
Like that.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of people that want to leave in January because what are we doing?
Right.
Yeah, they're playing in the Europa League.
I was just thinking about that too with Lionel Messi being on PSG. It's just so weird seeing him in that jersey. When you see Barcelona on the TV, you immediately think Messi's going to be playing, but it's just still weird to see him with a PSG jersey.
To you, who's the greatest player to play the game?
Lionel Messi.
My man, pots and pans.
I thought you were going to argue with me.
No,
man.
no shot.
Cristiano is a tap-in king, man. He just goes
So-
in after the rebound, but he does have some class goals.
Yeah. So I will say, this is how I think. I think he might be the best goal scorer ever.
Messi.
No, I'm talking Ronaldo.
Yeah?
I think all he does, though, is score.
Right.
Messi controls the whole game. He
Right.
gets all of his teammates involved.
Absolutely.
I think he's the best player ever.
Right, absolutely. I agree.
And now someone will argue, what do you need to win the game? You need to score. Okay, but Messi also can score.
There's
so
11 players on the team.
right. So Ronaldo is a me guy. He's like a me. He doesn't really care if his team wins, I feel like. He wants to score. If they lose 3-2, he wants to score both goals.
Right.
And he gets the glory. Messi wants to win.
Right.
I will die saying Messi's the best player
Absolutely.
I've ever seen until further notice. But
His
I think
ability to control a game still, in comparison, Ronaldo can't even get on the starting lineup for United.
right.
But
That's so
obviously,
embarrassing.
obviously age is different. You know what I mean?
They're
He's
2
getting
years
frustrated.
apart, though.
Look how my man is reacting. First of all, he's like walking off the pitch before the game's
game
even
ends.
over.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
so disrespectful.
boot the man.
And I'm supposed to think he's the best.
Yeah.
Like Messi would sit in the box.
He's been
and
scoring
just wait.
class goals week after week, and
Right.
he's still,
And
just
they try to downplay
incredible.
that like the league he's in is a farmers league, which it is, but
Right.
he's still playing against professional players. And
Champions
still,
League, he's still scoring.
Right.
It's still distributing.
Yeah, right. No, I'm with you. I really don't. When someone compares one or the other, I don't think there's a comparison. I think Messi is clear, and he's been clear of Ronaldo
Right.
for a very long time.
Yeah, I agree. And he's an inspiration too to like
The little
soccer.
guy.
I always refer to it as football too. I just hear it on.
You should.
guys-
The only time I say the word soccer is when I'm talking to someone
Right.
who doesn't know the sport.
right, or if they're gonna get confused.
Yeah,
But
right.
I think watching him play the game, Messi play the game. He's an inspiration to everybody who's like a smaller dude with a low center of gravity.
Right.
Some people make the assumption that because you're smaller that you can't, play the game. Don't have that physical physical
Aspect.
aspect.
I'm with you.
Appreciate you. That's what I hear. But the physical aspect of the game. But those players who have that low center of gravity and have a great balance are the most difficult players to take the ball off of.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
So you were a defender.
Yeah, center back,
yeah.
yeah.
So and I was like an attacker. I
Right.
liked, if I had to say what my position was, I like to be a center attacker mid.
Okay.
Because I like to come back and help on
Right.
defense.
Right.
But when
Lot of
we have
quarterback.
the ball, I like to have it. I'm
Right.
the quarterback.
Right.
Like let's go this way,
Right.
let's go that way.
Yes.
Or maybe I should take my defender on and let's score.
Right.
But so I'm not gonna say I am like Messi, but when he gets fouled, his first thought was, can I keep going?
Can I hold my balance?
Nowadays, everyone else they want to take the foul, they want to fall on the
Hold
ground.
their ankles for a few minutes.
Right. He doesn't do that. He
Right.
likes to keep on his feet. He, like you said, he's one of the smallest players on the field.
Absolutely.
But he plays with such like he's huge. He'll always keep trying to go
Yeah.
and make the play. I
Yeah.
felt that way. I didn't like being on the ground.
Right.
I'm not.
If you're not hurt, what are you there for?
Yeah, right. So like I try to stay up as much as I could.
Right.
So like I always related to Messi in that way because I was, and that kind of I felt like just recently started to happen. Like when someone would get fouled, they literally roll around.
Right.
They hold their ankle when you hit them in the shoulder.
Right.
And then they just but he doesn't do that. I've never really seen him do that.
Yeah, well, you know what I never understood, and you might have a better
ahead.
analysis
Oh, boy.
analysis of this, but like when football players are mad and they go face to face, what is that with the headbutt, man? Why do they always headbutt? I'm just throwing an elbow or a punch. You know what I mean? If I'm that angry, I'm not headbutting somebody on
I'm
the chin.
shoving. I'm
Shove it,
shoving
yeah.
first.
Right.
2-hand shove, and then if we really have something to talk about, we can talk about it or
Right.
do something there. The headbutt is weird.
Yeah, just
'Cause
like they like mastered like the forehead, like to the chest, to the
right,
chin. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
no.
Even if it's like the biggest nudge, look, why is the first
Your head.
instinct?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
like,
with you. It
we
hurts
have hands
both
for a reason.
parties. It hurts
Right.
both parties. Nobody wins with a headbutt. That's a quote from a famous movie. I can't remember the name, but nobody wins with a headbutt.
I always wondered that. I'm like, you always give like that first nudge and you're getting red. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna make it worth it, make it worth it.
Make it worth it. Take him out. If you're gonna leave the game, take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the World Cup thing. I can't say Belgium because year after year after year, them being ranked number 1, they always fall flat.
Right.
They were ranked number 1 in the Euros. We beat them in the quarterfinals
Right.
easily. I know Lukaku scored a penalty shot, but take away that penalty shot, we were in control the whole game.
Right.
I will say it is the biggest disgrace of all time that Italy is not in the World Cup yet again. I still can't wrap my head around it. And the fact that we didn't qualify because we lost to Macedonia, North Macedonia specifically.
On a Glazo.
They had, what did you say?
On a Glazo. They scored a wonderful goal.
Yeah, that was a beautiful goal. But we shouldn't have been in that position.
That's true.
That coach, Mancini, he took too many old guys. They had just won a European championship. They're not hungry. Put the young guys in. They got to prove themselves. They will beat Macedonia. I'm sitting there watching the game.
Waiting for him to score.
No, thinking, put in the young guys.
Okay.
Like, I was literally screaming at the TV, like, put in Scamacca. Scamacca now plays in the Premier League.
Okay.
I think he's on West Ham.
Okay. Yeah.
Big
The forward.
dude, tatted.
Yeah.
He's got tats up the ass.
You know the dude's bad when he has the neck tats. You know he's about to
and
do something.
it's a face of a woman. I don't know if it's his girlfriend or his mother.
Oh, okay.
But the whole side of
I
his neck.
like him. I didn't know that he came.
So he's amazing.
international.
I've been screaming. I told my dad like 4 years ago that this dude's going to be a problem.
Right.
And then before he went to West Ham, Sassuolo was going to sell him, and they wanted $40 million. And I was like, if I'm Inter, I'm going bankrupt to get that guy.
Right.
And they went and they got Lukaku on a loan, which is the worst thing we've ever done. He's played like 3 games.
He's like hit or miss wherever he goes. You know what I mean?
So,
Like,
but the hit though was when he went to Inter the first time.
Yes, and he was killing it.
You're right, because Conte knows how to use him the best.
Right.
Other than that, no one's really had that like success with him.
Struggling with time a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I wonder if they were tied 1-1 Champions League.
They play
today.
Liverpool this weekend.
I hope you win. I
I hope
really
so,
do, because nothing gets me like now that he's not on Inter's coaching staff. Nothing gets me more excited than seeing Conte upset.
You know, I always appreciate even listening to the pod, the Italian Italian
So
accent. But it's the best to chirp, like the Italian fans, like my Italian friends, that you guys aren't in the World Cup, and that's a disgrace.
It is a disgrace though. You're not even like, you don't upset me when you say that. It really is so.
Such a class team to win the Euros.
When people think of soccer, one of the first 3 countries they think of is Italy.
It's
The
very
Italians,
prominent.
the Spains, or the Spaniards, and
Brazilians.
then Brazilians. Boom.
Right.
And we're not in there. 2 times in a row.
I mean, USA was a joke. They were ragging on them like, we have all these athletes, and it's not even our number 1 sport. Probably number 5.
You know what I hate? That you could win the Euros and you still have to qualify for the World Cup.
Right.
I think, and then in South American, like Argentina won the Copa America.
Yeah.
They have to qualify. I think if you win those 2 championships,
Right.
you don't have to qualify. I'm
Right.
not saying that just because we won. And let's say England won. I don't think England should have to qualify for the World Cup. It doesn't make any sense. They just won this
Right.
major tournament. Why they have to qualify?
And now they're in USA's group, so that'll be that game was going to be on Black Friday too. That's going to be wild.
That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
England and USA should both walk through.
Yeah. I don't know.
They should though.
I'm a huge U.S. men's national team supporter. I can't stand the coach. I think he's
Who is the coach?
Greg Berhalter. He's terrible. I want Jesse Marsh, the Leeds coach.
Okay.
Big lead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Liverpool supporter, but I love that he's American coach. Got Aronson, Tyler Adams.
Yeah.
It's just and he just beat Liverpool, so it was hard to root for him in that regard. But they were saying he would lose his job if he didn't win that game, and he pulled through and he beat Liverpool the first time in like
Maybe
Van Dijk's
ever. Yeah.
history or something.
Yes,
Like
that's a monumental win for them.
Man, we just really went on the soccer tangent.
We did know that we both bleed soccer though.
Absolutely,
Football.
I love
let's,
it.
Let's keep it real.
Coaching,
Football. Yeah.
Playing.
Are
it's
you
my
so?
life.
Are you looking to coach anybody now?
I coach at Father Judge.
Oh, you do.
Head coach
so
for-
you're the enemy again.
Head coach for JV and assistant for varsity. We just lost in the PCL to Ryan.
Damn.
And PKs.
Ryan.
Yes, terrible. Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
And we actually eliminated Egan out of the semifinal. So it was weird to play my alumni and the team I used to coach. But I'm a Crusader now.
Who's the head coach for Egan? Is it still Barry?
No, it's not. But I used to coach with Barry. I don't know the guy, but
Oh, okay. But
He did a
Barry's
good
not
job.
on the staff at all anymore.
I don't think so. But shout out to Egan on the most beautiful fields in the PCL. I was there, and I'm like, we had to play on that Scruff McGruff
Scruff McGruff is right.
mountain grass dirt field, and these kids have one of the best fields in the PCL.
Yeah, no, it's me and my friends say that all the time. They waited until we left to get to put any money into the school.
Right, and it looks beautiful. And
It
Egan's
really
doing a
does.
great job.
They just did a turf field for the football field in the back.
I know.
So,
I
yeah,
saw
they're
that
coming
one
up.
person. Yeah.
That's what happens when someone loans millions of dollars.
Right.
Actually, grants. I don't think they want any of it back.
So when I was teaching there, when I was teaching at Egan, they made the announcement that the school was going to close. Remember when all those schools were closing?
Yep.
I had to go into the office. I was breaking down. I'm like, man, they can't be closing Egan like this, because I was teaching there, I played there, I was coaching there, so I had a lot of connections to Egan. And then when they said that was going to close, it was sad for many people. So, but we made it, and now it looks beautiful. And
Yeah.
I
I remember
on the
when
rise.
I was in 8th grade, they wouldn't let anyone in my grade
Shadow.
Yeah, I guess shadow was the word. Shadow
What is it,
Egan.
visitation or something?
Visitation day.
Yeah.
We couldn't do visitation day at Egan because they were literally anticipating that it was going to close.
You don't waste your time.
So I went to Ryan,
Huh.
and I
Sorry to hear
hated
that.
I hated every second of being there.
My
I was
parents
like,
went around.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. Tell them all
So
the time.
I'm walking around. I'm like, this is a ginormous school. First off, and I was just like, I don't really like this environment. It's kind of far away from my house.
Right.
And
That'd be
then
a little bit of a hike. I almost
Yeah.
went to Judge, but it was the buses that prevented me. I would have to get up at 5:30. I did my visitation there. I liked it, but yeah. But I loved Egan. Was the best 4 years of my life.
Yeah, I was so happy when they were staying open, and they said that they were going to stay. I think originally it was like they were going to stay open for 4 more years, and I was like,
Right.
perfect, I can graduate.
Right, exactly.
And
now they're thriving.
Yeah, I think
Really.
here's a hot take. I think in a few years, it's not going to say Common League and Catholic. It's going to say Common League and Prep.
Yeah,
That's a hot take.
separation.
I
Yeah.
haven't talked to
Get a
anybody.
little
I don't know.
privatized.
Yeah,
I
no,
like that. I like that.
I think they want to go that route.
That emblem that they got on the front, it kind of reminds you like
Sick.
a prep, like a St. Joe's prep. Or
Yeah,
like
it's
a,
sick.
Holy Ghost prep.
They're killing the game. They literally
Yeah.
are killing the game. We had my 5-year high school reunion there, and inside it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Have you been there recently?
I seen they had like a virtual walkthrough type of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, that's when I was like, man, this is the come up. They have a whole virtual walkthrough. They have
Yeah.
blazers on. I wouldn't have made it back in the day having to wear a blazer all the time. I had enough demerits as well.
We were hammered in my my high school reunion. We were just sitting in the library, hammered.
Oh, you were in the school?
Yeah. Like they
wild.
literally shout out to Christina. Christina was able to get them to host us. And I'm not even kidding. We were so drunk. And then the guy was like, "Oh, we should walk you around." And then we went to the auditorium, and I'm looking around. I'm like, I used to be here. Like, this is crazy, and everything is totally different. So they're really coming up on a lot of money. I didn't even say my prediction of the World Cup. So let me get back to that. I don't think Belgium's going to do anything. I just think they're a bunch of overachievers,
First group exit? Or?
underachievers, I should say.
Yeah.
I don't know about first. No, they definitely make it through the group. They might get to the round of 16, but I think they usually always lose around the quarterfinals. So maybe I'm right about that. But I do think, like you said, France is way too stacked from top to bottom to not win.
Right.
I hope they don't win. But who I want to win, Argentina. I know, I should be rooting for the United States, but I think it's unrealistic to be rooting for them because I don't think they're many years removed from being taken serious.
I think they might get, I'm a U.S. men's national team supporter, and I
Right.
think they might get booted in the first
Really?
group. Yeah.
Oh, you don't think they make it to the group?
I don't. I think
There's 3 teams that are like. So
yeah,
it's
so
England.
it's Wales.
Oh, Wales.
It's the first time they've been
yeah,
to
Yeah.
What is that, Iran, I think?
It might be. They're trying to kick Iran out.
You're right. So they might
Right.
be getting kicked out of our group, and then England. And I think that we've had trouble with Wales in the past. There's
Right.
some.
They got
young
some. They got some
young talent.
studs.
Gareth Bale.
Right.
And then with England, I just think that we're having, like I said, I can't stand the coach. I think he makes terrible decisions. We haven't really competed against top class teams, and when we do, we draw or we lose. So we beat a few. We beat the Mexicos and things
Canada,
like that.
Yeah. Did you beat Canada? Both times?
I think we drew and we lost. Yeah.
See, like I wouldn't take Canada serious. So that's what I mean. Like that.
Alfonso Davies is a stud, though.
He is. He's a real stud.
Yeah.
And he's so young. So
he's
like
one of the best left backs.
In the whole world. Right. You know who's super underrated, and I've been preaching him since day one. Federico Di Marco.
I'm not aware of him.
Federico Di Marco.
Who does he play for?
Inter.
Okay.
But so when Conte was our coach, he kept loaning him out, and he wanted to sell him. And now he starts over Gozens. You know Gozens?
Yes.
The German?
Yeah.
I thought Gozens was going to be our certified starter. Now DeMarco's taken over. DeMarco's got a left foot from God. So, folks, you heard that name before, DeMarco. I have a jersey on its way from DH Gate.
Yeah.
So
next sponsor.
So facts. My thing with DH Gate is that I can spend I could buy 5 jerseys for the price of one. That's why they get me, but they do such good work that they keep getting me. So I hope Argentina wins just because Lautaro Martinez is our star, and he's there. I want Messi to win a World Cup more than anything.
I don't think it's happening with that Argentina squad. You know who I like that's an Argentinian,
defense.
Though, is Angel Di Maria. I always appreciate him.
Yeah, Di Maria is really good, for sure.
Who else is Argentine?
They got Dybala, but he's not playing.
All right.
They have Rodrigo De Paul.
Like Dybala.
I love Dybala. Rodrigo De Paul, he's on Atletico Madrid.
Okay. Atletico's not a solid squad.
Yeah. Did you see the way that they lost?
No.
They gave them this bullshit penalty shot after extra time was done. So they stayed on the field. They gave him the penalty shot. Dude missed it. The goalie saved it. Came back. Another guy got the rebound, hit it off the crossbar. Comes back to the crossbar. Another Atletico Madrid he heads it over the net.
Wow.
Game over.
And that could have been it.
So if they won, they qualified. But they lost. They're done. Crazy. Well, it's dead, the soccer talk. I might have lost some people, but I don't really care because I'm talking about shit that I care about. Forza Inter, Forza Liverpool, just for your sake.
Yes.
But if we meet you in the Champions League, I hope you lose.
Right.
So you, this isn't common, but you are the father of triplets. Is this correct?
I am father of triplets.
Are they? So I didn't ask my sister any questions because I didn't want to know anything about. Are they all boys and girls, or
2 boys and a girl?
2 boys and a girl.
Yeah, fraternal.
Okay, all right. So, how was that? What was your reaction like when? So, did you know prior, or did you know when they were doing like the ultrasound?
So, during the ultrasound, so I actually just talked about this. My wife and I do pre-Cana at St. Catherine's. We help with married families. We've been, married for some time. We got some seniority.
What's your wife's name?
Stephanie.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Yes. And I talked about that because we struggled a little bit to have children. It took us about 2 years. So when we found out we were having 3, I was happy to have 1. So I felt blessed, I truly did. It was a long process, and I'm a man of strong faith, so I believe that God, was going to get me through it no matter what. And being a teacher, I've taught in different areas, one of the areas being Kensington, and sometimes I wanted to take the kids home, what I mean? Because their parents weren't around or didn't support them, and I knew that that if God provided me with that opportunity, I would do my job, what I mean? And 3 wonderful children, and actually announcement, Phillies, I didn't tell her, I was kind of saved for the episode.
Here we go.
Waiting for the 4th.
Oh, let's go! Yeah. Let's go. Do we know?
Little announcement on
okay, that's amazing. Breaking news here on the Vibration
4th
Show.
Child, expanding the family. McCarthy.
Do we know the gender, or do you like to be surprised?
Surprised. We were surprised with the triplets, so we're getting surprised with the 4th.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like unheard of anymore to have like 4 kids. You know what I mean? But
yeah, right.
I want a 5, but I think we're gonna stop at 4. I want a full basketball squad.
Fun fact, folks, he pulled up in the minivan. Classic.
I was, that was a jock on my swag when I first dropped the video in, but it's the most applicable, vehicle, and
no, it makes sense.
Get them all around,
it makes sense.
I mean? No, and you get used to it.
I never,
you're just whipping it.
Yeah, usually people throw some shade on people that drive minivans, but like it literally makes so much sense.
I don't know how else we would do it.
What are you gonna put them in a Honda Civic? You can't do that.
Well, the funny thing is that we have a van, Toyota Sienna, and then we have a a Yaris. Like it's like the small like hatchback John, and it's like
yeah.
it's really just like the 2 seats in the front, and you can barely fit in the back. And it's like we go from the van to this like smart card,
right?
You know.
Okay. So did you? I don't know if you answered the question. Did you know? Were you expecting one child, and then you saw that there was 3 heads in there?
So on the ultrasound, like with like doing all the tests, they like knew my wife's hormones were like high, and that they did some type of test where they were like, you're not just having 1 kid, you're not just having 2 kids, you're having 3 kids. With all, like something's going on here. You have multiple kids in there. You know what I mean? Whereas like her levels would have been a lot lower per 1 child, and like I said, I was definitely scared, but I felt. I'm just a strong believer that, you know, God puts things in front of us that we can handle. You know what I mean?
He gives the toughest battles to the strongest shoulders.
That's right.
That is one of the best quotes ever, because it's a true quote.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big quote guy myself. So.
Yeah.
So I honestly did. I felt that we waited a while to have 1, and this is him giving us 3. So I felt it was a blessing. You know.
That is a blessing. Oh man,
my kids watch us when they're older. They'll say,
"Yeah, my dad's the man." Yeah, no. So how old are they now?
3.5, before February 25th.
Goodness, February 25th.
Yeah, it's
okay, so happy early birthday! Damn, we're about to be 4.
That's right, 4, and then April 6th.
So
4th is woman.
April 6th. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but DMX Day is April 9th.
Okay.
April 7th, excuse me, April 7th. Do you know what I mean by that?
Uh-huh.
So I met DMX on April 7th.
Oh, DMX then. Okay.
Yeah, did I say that not clear?
I saw the videos pinned on your Twitter, and I remember seeing that. I remember texting Phillies.
Amazing.
That was really cool. Amazing.
So every April 7th, I celebrate. But, you know.
That must have been an unbelievable feeling. How did you get in there? Like,
shout out to Phillies. One of her good friends was the owner of a club, and he was having DMX there.
Okay.
And he came up. I was at a dinner with my ex-girlfriend. Shout out to Tia. So we were there, and Phil's was at the same restaurant, and she told me like, oh, you know, come here. So I came down there, and the guy was like, do you want to meet DMX tonight? And I was like, don't play with me.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I want to meet DMX tonight. And he said, well, he's gonna perform in my club. And then he not snuck us in. He brought us through VIP because he owns the club. So we went through the back door. We get in VIP. And X comes out, he performs, does his little set.
Right.
And he saw me while he was performing. Like I'm right next to him, like a couple feet away. And as he's performing, I'm next to him, like I'm standing on the chair, and he can see me. I can see him clear as day. And I'm going bar for bar. He gave me the nod while he was performing. So like that was enough for me. Like I was like he just saw me. And then when he was done, he came up to the gate and he told me to like come here. And I was like, what the? I didn't even like look as he talking to me. I was like, yeah, I know he's talking to me. Right. So I went up to the gate. First question goes, yo, how old are you? And I was like, 21.
Were you 21?
Yeah, I was 21.
Yeah.
I had just turned 21. And he looked at me. He was like, 21. And he pushed the security guards out the way. He jumped over the gate. Now he's in VIP. Everyone in VIP got the hell out of the way, and it's just me and him, like.
And you didn't fret, man.
No,
you went right up against them.
No, I knew exactly what I was supposed to do. Like I was training for that moment. It was crazy.
Yeah, in the mirror.
Literally though. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. Like I was actually hoping for that moment in my life some point.
Everybody does.
And it came to fruition, and I was right there in front of him, and he couldn't believe how many were like how I knew all his shit.
Right.
And like a song that like most people, I wouldn't say most people don't know, but like
it was like under.
It was a feature. It was Mace's song, 24 Hours to Live.
I love Mace.
And that was like one of X's first songs that went mainstream. Like he was on the song, and I was, I'm going 24 left until my death. So we were going back and forth, and I could see like a few times he was stumbling on his words because he was just like in awe of like that this white kid with glasses. Yeah, he was probably hammered. I was intoxicated, but I locked in that moment. No one else mattered to me in that room. I didn't even know anyone else was in there. And we went bar for bar. We did his verse. He dapped me up like 6 times. He kept shaking my hand. Yeah. He told his homie, he was like, he's 21. And I was like, yeah, man. So I shook his homie's hand. We were going back and forth. But that was incredible.
That's just one of those moments that, like you'll never forget. You know what I mean? So, that's like the athletic thing that we talked about in the beginning when like your sports teams win there's no,
you
just embrace it.
Yeah, right. You can't forget that. Right. So regardless if that was recorded or not, I would have never forgot that moment.
Right.
But the fact that it's recorded, I look back on it.
How many times a day you watch it?
A day, not so much, but like every once in a while, like let's say I need to pick me up.
Yeah, right. You're down.
I click on that, and it's like 24 left until my down.
Yeah.
So like, and that was the thing too. Someone asked me like, "Did you do it in his voice?" And I was like, "No," because I know he didn't like when people try to like imitate his voice, because he's got like one of the most unique rap voices ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that shit right in front of him, and we killed. And the rest of the like he got up back on the stage, and they kept playing most of his music. And they did Lord Give Me a Sign, which is like one of his like not so popular songs, but he turned and looked at me, and in the beginning of the song he does a prayer, and we went back and forth. I was like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and we were going back and forth, and it was just crazy. That was like literally, I have no shame saying it, that was the best night of my life.
I mean, how could it not be? You meet somebody that you look up to, you see him on TV, you think you'll never meet him, and then you're in person and you're doing what he inspired you to do,
If you could meet somebody, famous person, who would it be?
Jesus Christ. No, for sure. No, but if I can meet anybody, I always was, since we're on the topic of Phillies, I was always really inspired. Well, Allen Iverson was a huge inspiration to me. But Chase Utley, I don't know what it was, but like the way he played the game and the way he held himself is just like, given everything he's got, you know what I mean? No qualms about him. Didn't worry about anything else. Came up in clutch moments. Yeah. I would just like to hang out with him for a day, and like I said, I'm real big in the psyche. So like how he kept his cool in the most complex moments,
right.
Like that fake throw, and he got that guy. You know what I mean? In the rundown, like things like that. Like how did you stay so calm, and what was your secret and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, that's like such a difficult question because
it is.
It's weird as you get older. You kind of
it changes, it varies.
Right, and I also think like you normalize like these people, like they're just like us. They put their shirts, they put their clothes on the same way. You know
they
what I
bleed
mean?
like us. Right.
Like I would like to meet like some people more than others, but they're human just like the rest of us. You know what I mean? Maybe how about you?
It was DMX. There was no like it wasn't even like a close second, right? It was like I wanted to meet X so bad. So like you said, I'm a huge man of faith.
Absolutely.
Like all of my life is like based off of faith and guidance from the Lord.
Absolutely.
So X was so different because no one was rapping about God.
Right,
like,
he was a faithful man, like you said. Start off with a prayer.
Every album there was a conversation with God and a prayer.
Right.
And like that wasn't common in hip hop.
Right.
So like I correlated to that, I related to that more than anything first. Right. And then like I was like, oh well, he makes some like party jams like up in here.
Right.
That's one of my least favorite songs that he has.
It's what you link with that person,
right.
And the uniqueness that kind of helps you correlate and helps you relate to them. You know what I mean?
This is I feel like maybe a weird one, but now that I met X already, and now that he's passed, rest in peace, I want to meet Mike Vick bad.
Mike Vick, yeah.
He's my favorite football player of all time.
He's like another one. Like I would love to talk to him about like his comeback story, like what he's learned over the years.
You said psyche. What's his psyche like when he came out of prison and everyone's like, I hate this guy.
Right.
Everyone hated Mike.
Right. And then he just earned the respect of others. He did some terrible things, absolutely, but you know what I mean? He also seems like somebody who like learned from his wrongs.
I think he really did.
Like, you know how some people hit you with the Notepad app and they're like, like this is genuine and least you could tell that he like even when he speaks, you could tell that he's genuine in his approach to things. And I would ask how he persevered through those things, like Dark Nights in jail, you know what I mean? Right. And now you're on the football field, it's like the longest yard, but real life.
Right.
Like the dude came.
Right.
Or what's the other football movie that's
Gridiron Gang?
The Replacements.
Oh,
he's
the Replacements.
He's in jail. He comes out, he's playing NFL and he's thriving.
Yeah, he really. My favorite thing about his career is that when he came to Philly, he became a quarterback.
Right.
He wasn't just like that amazing athlete that could throw really well.
Right.
He became Andy Reid turned him into.
He couldn't run as much as he did when he was in Atlanta because he gained some weight and he was bigger. He wasn't as fit. Older.
But don't get me wrong, when he would run out of the pocket, he was still Mike Vick.
Right.
But
He didn't lean on it all the time.
No,
I mean, he
yeah, that was
he was slinging it like 80 yards for like.
That game I'll never forget a day in my life, because he used to live next door to us here to the left. He was a Redskins fan. Excuse me, Washington Commanders team. I was gonna say football team.
I thought you said Mike Vick lived next door.
No, I wish. Brandon Hughes. I had him on. Yeah. He was a cornerback for the Eagles. He used to live in that same house, but before him. It was shout out to Jeff, but he was a Washington fan, so we watched that Monday night game there in his garage, and his garage was like the definition of a man cave. Right, like you would want that.
Shout out to everybody who has their own man cave.
Yeah, they do. Do you have yours yet?
Nah,
it's in the works.
I don't. I feel like I live in like a northeast house, so it's not like big enough to be like, let's dedicate this. Like every room is like a family room because my kids. I have 3 kids.
This guy, I want to be just like him when I grow up. I just want to be.
I don't know about all that.
So that game, it was like 35-0 in the beginning. It finished like way more than that, but it was like 56-14 or something. But in the beginning, it was just silence because we were just like, "Wow, we're killing you right now." Mike Vick had 6 touchdowns that game, 4 passing, 2 touchdowns, or 2 rushing. That was one of the best football games I've ever watched in my life, like performance-wise.
That's like one of the games that if you're not that tuned in, you're turned off at halftime. This is a blowout.
First
Here
play.
comes Coy Detmer or somebody.
You said Coy Detmer. We're all over the place
we really
here.
crushed this battle, too.
Yeah, we did.
That was a quick one.
Shout out to the Phillies one time. We were drinking red wine for the Phillies.
Yes, sir.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Is there anything you want to...
No, I just want to, appreciate or thank you for having me on. I appreciated it. Like I said, like when I'm doing chores or things like that, and just pass the time, I turn on the vibrations, and it helps get the day going. I think Vito's doing a great job here, great setup, and just just plug it, man, and just get out there, keep doing you, and and my thing is. Like a quote I live by, so I always talked about quotes like if you can make an impact on somebody's day, you know what I mean, like that really like is the true meaning of living, you know what I mean. So like if you can, like somebody might listen to this and just come across you and not even know you. They could be in West Virginia, in California, Kansas or something. They just type it in, they might find you on YouTube, and you might have a message to them that day that you would never expect them to even know who you are, but make a difference. So I think like your podcast being based upon like just leaving a positive influence on others and having positive vibes, you know what I mean, that's huge for people. That's what people need in this world, man. Not less violence, more positivity,
bro. There's too much violence,
right?
We lost so like look, I'm not a big fan of the group, but Takeoff of the Migos,
I just heard about that.
He got shot and killed last night.
It's all like it's it's about feuding and manning up.
It's just too much negativity in the world. And it's like, that's what spreads now, negativity versus positivity. So I'm a big component of just spreading, like I use the word vibrations, like usually you would say vibes, but like positive vibrations they're so energy, important. Energy. Right. Just people need, I think, like just... an excess of
There's nothing better than walking in a crowded room and like meeting somebody and like, man, this person has some positive energy.
Yeah,
like,
right.
They're bringing
that
the
sticks
party.
With you.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're leaving an influence on them. Yeah. You're like, I like that guy. You know what I mean? But there's also those people who like, hating on you walking to the room. Like, what's this guy doing here?
Yeah,
it's like, stick away from that guy. Right. He's not. He doesn't have the right energy. But
I'm with you.
I'm all about each day making an impact on different people's lives, you know what I mean? And
that's the goal.
So I appreciate you having me on, but you're doing a great thing here, and you're helping me out. You're making an impact.
Thank you. So that's the goal, folks. Yes. I'm just trying to help. So like if I can make you laugh once or twice, that's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. What I feel the most joy when I can make somebody laugh.
Absolutely.
And I've started to realize that when I'm not trying to be funny, I make people laugh.
Yeah,
when I am trying to be funny,
right.
I'm just like...
People can read through that, too. You know what I mean?
Word. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed making this episode. Shout out to Pat for P-Mac, for coming on the program. This man is busy. Shout out to Stephanie,
Yeah, for letting me come here. I'll probably be hearing it when I get home.
I hope I didn't get him in trouble. But no, I appreciate you. I can't... do we have a... Oh, you said it was a surprise. We don't know the gender yet.
No. Yeah, we'll be spread.
I'm kind of hoping that we have a girl, so it's 2 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely. My daughter would like that a lot.
Okay.
So she's hoping for her sister.
All right. Okay. Good.
Let's go Phils.
Let's go
right?
Phillies. That's the most important thing.
Let's go up 2-1. Right now it's 1-1. Let's go up 2-1.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Go Birds. Undefeated.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's right. Excuse me. Shout out to all your students. I hope they're really learning.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they are. I think I'm, like I said, making a positive impact.
That's right. It's all about influencing.
That's right.
That's right. That's what we do here. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube if you're not. I would really appreciate it if you do. You can find me on Apple and Spotify. Folks, Vibrations with Vito. Ciao for now.
Peace.